Hi guys, NCWQ here, and I have an article that I want to read for you guys. Let me turn this around for a minute. We'll go look here. This article is Unprecedented Movement on the Mojave Desert Fault Capable of Magnitude 8.0 Earthquakes, and it's from a Caltech study, and this is being brought by KTLA 5. And it states the earthquakes that have hammered Southern California desert near the town of Ridgecrest last summer involved ruptures on the web of interconnected faults and increased strain on a major nearby fault that has begun to slowly move, according to the new study. Ruptures in the Ridgecrest earthquake sequence ended a few miles from the Garlock Fault, which runs east-west for 185 miles, or 300 kilometers, from the San Andreas Fault to Death Valley. The Garlock Fault has been relatively quiet for 500 years. It now has begun a process called fault creep and has slipped 0.8 inch or 2 centimeters since July, the research found. The study by geophysicists from California Institute of Technology and NASA's Jet Propulsion Laboratory was published in the journal Science on Thursday, coinciding with the implementation of a statewide earthquake early warning system for the general public. Southern California's largest earthquake sequence in 2 decades began July 4th in the Mojave Desert, about 120 miles or 190 kilometers north of Los Angeles. A magnitude 6.4 foreshock was followed the next day by a magnitude 7.1 main shock and more than 100,000 aftershocks. Zachary Ross, assistant professor of geophysics at Caltech and lead author of the paper, said in a statement that it was one of the most well-documented earthquake sequences in history. Ross developed automatic computer analysis of seismometer data to detect the huge number of aftershocks with precise location information, Caltech and JPL said in a press release. The JPL scientists mapped surface ruptures of the faults with data from Japanese and European Space Agency radar satellites. I was surprised to see how much complexity there was and a number of faults that ruptured, said Eric Fielding, a co-author of the study from JPL. About 20 previously unknown crisscrossing faults were involved. Ross said the 6.4 quake simultaneously broke faults at right angles to each other, which he characterized as surprising. It was a commonly held idea that major earthquakes are caused by rupture of single long fault, but that has been reconsidered since 1992 quake in the desert of Landers, California ruptured several faults. The Ridgecrest sequence adds evidence of more complex process. It's going to force people to think hard about how we qualify seismic hazard and whether our approach to defining faults needs to change, Ross said. We can't just assume that the largest fault dominated the seismic hazard if many smaller faults can link to these to create these major quakes. The study was published on the 30th anniversary of the deadly magnitude 6.9 Loma Prieta earthquake that badly damaged the San Francisco Bay Area. Governor Gavin Newsom marked the occasion by formally announcing the launch of the nation's first statewide earthquake early warning system. One second. Alerts previously were made available to schools, government agencies, industries, but not the general public, except in Los Angeles County, where an app-based system has been since January. The Shake Alert system that has been under development by the U.S. Geological Survey and science institutions for years will now push alerts to cell phones through an app developed by the University of California, Berkeley, and Wire Emergency Alert System. Shake Alert uses hundreds of seismic sensor stations to detect the start of an earthquake, calculate its location and strength, and generate alerts that the app and the Waze system send to phones in the areas that are expected to have significant shaking. The intent is to provide seconds or tens of seconds in which people can protect themselves before shaking arrives in their location. And anyways, you guys, I'm going to link this below. There's some interesting stuff in here. So if you'd like to read more, I'm going to leave the link below the video. Thank you guys and have a great day.